In the heart of the Amazon lies Serra, a vast, silent wound in the earth, infamous for its gold and the dreams it destroyed. The world remembers the men who dug mountains for fortune, but the true cost was paid by the women left behind. Wives, mothers, and daughters watched their families unravel as gold fever swept through their lives. Their stories are not in the history books, but in the empty chairs and faded letters back home. This is not just a tale of gold, but of resilience and heartbreak, of women who held families together as the world around them crumbled. We journey back to the 1980s, to mud-caked streets and whispered hopes carried on the wind. Listen closely, the echoes in the mud are their voices, telling us what was truly lost. The price of gold here was not measured in money, but in blood, tears, and lives forever changed. Let us honor them by listening to the echoes they left behind. In 1979, a child's discovery of gold in Para sparked a frenzy that would transform Serra into the world's largest open-air gold mine. Tens of thousands of men, garimperos, descended on the mountain, driven by desperation and hope. They dug with bare hands, forming a human tide in a pit stripped of trees and dignity. Brazil's dictatorship and economic hardship made this gold rush a last resort for many. The government tried to impose order, but chaos reigned. Women were banned from the mine, pushed to the margins of boom towns, their lives shaped by the gold rush's shadow. While men risked everything in the pit, women became the unseen foundation, holding families together from afar. The mountain of naked men stood on the silent sacrifices of forgotten women. Their absence in the pit did not mean absence from the story. The gold rush was built on their endurance. Serra true foundation was not gold, but the women who waited. What drove men to abandon everything for a pit of mud? Gold fever, a dream so powerful it blinded them to reality. Stories of instant riches spread like wildfire, promising escape from poverty and a chance to rewrite destinies. Men arrived with nothing but hope, believing gold would transform their lives and their families' futures. The government fueled the dream, casting the miners as national heroes and the gold as Brazil's salvation. But for every fortune found, thousands faced only debt, disease, and despair. The odds were stacked against them. The system favored the powerful. Yet the hope of a lucky strike kept them digging day after day. The fever was contagious, distorting reality and masking the suffering beneath. The dream of gold was a mirage. Few found wealth, most found ruin. Still, the myth endured, fueled by rare success stories. The fever dream was relentless, and its cost was hidden in the mud. The true riches of Serra were paid for in broken lives. While men chased gold, women became the anchors of families left behind. They managed households, raised children, and waited, never knowing if their loved ones would return. Letters arrived sporadically, filled with hope or despair, but often silence was all they received. Money sent home was a lifeline, but its flow was uncertain, leaving women to stretch every cent and plan for an unpredictable future. They became single parents in all but name, celebrating milestones and facing hardships alone. The emotional toll was immense. Loneliness, anxiety, and the constant ache of absence. They kept the memory of fathers alive for their children, even as hope faded. Their sacrifice was measured in patience and resilience, not mud and sweat. These women were the true backbone of the gold rush, their strength as profound as any mountain. Their story is one of endurance in the face of endless uncertainty. The dream of Serra quickly turned to nightmare. Boomtowns around the mine became lawless slums. Disease, violence, and chaos ruled. For the few women present, cooks, laundresses, prostitutes, life was perilous and exploitative. Miners lived in squalor, plagued by malaria, malnutrition, and a lack of medical care. The mine itself was deadly, rickety ladders, landslides, and constant danger. Mercury used to extract gold poisoned the earth, water, and people, leaving a toxic legacy. The environment was devastated. Forests stripped, rivers polluted, land scarred. The system trapped miners in cycles of debt and exploitation. True profits went to claim owners and merchants. Most garimperos earned just enough to survive, always chasing the next elusive fortune. The gold rush extracted not just metal, but hope and life from those who toiled. The real riches were claimed by the powerful. The rest paid with their bodies and dreams. Serra Pelada's promise was a lie for most, a hell paved with golden intentions. The cost was human and environmental devastation. Behind the statistics are stories of heartbreak and resilience. Maria waited for her husband's return, only to learn he died in a landslide. Her son left fatherless. Her hope turned to grief. Teresa, a cook in the boomtown, endured danger to save enough for a new life for her daughters. Her struggle bought them a future. Antonio went to the mine for his mother's medical bills, writing poems to hold on to his humanity. He returned home not rich, but whole. Some men vanished, consumed by gold fever or shame, leaving families in limbo. Children grew up with absent fathers, their lives shaped by loss and uncertainty. The women and children bore the brunt of the mine's tragedy, their wounds often invisible. Yet, amid the darkness, there were moments of hope. Small victories, acts of survival, and dreams rebuilt from the ruins. The true treasure was not gold, but the strength to endure and rebuild. These stories reveal the human cost behind the headlines. The legacy of Serra Pelada is written in the lives it shattered and the resilience it inspired. The women's voices, once whispers, are the heart of this tragedy. Their hope and pain echo long after the gold is gone. Serra Pelada is a parable of ambition and obsession, a dream that became a nightmare. The pursuit of gold eclipsed the very reasons men came: family, future, humanity. The tragedy is measured in broken families, poisoned land, and spirits crushed by failure. Women bore the heaviest burden, paying with their youth, peace, and loss. This story is not unique. Gold fever still devastates lives and land worldwide. The women of Serra Pelada are not just history. Their suffering is mirrored today in mining communities across the globe. By seeing through their eyes, we understand the true cost of wealth built on sacrifice. The golden dream blinded thousands to the darkness it created. It promised futures, but for most it only dug graves. The real story is not about gold, but about the mountain of sacrifices left behind. Today, Serra Pelada is silent, a turquoise lake filling the old pit, nature slowly reclaiming the scar. But the earth remembers. The water is poisoned, the soil laced with mercury, the legacy toxic and enduring. Survivors carry scars in body and soul. Most remain poor, their dreams dissolved. The deepest truths are held by the women, whose memories are of waiting, fear, and loss. Their stories are the final accounting of the mine's true cost. Serra Pelada teaches us that true wealth is not gold, but healthy families, stable communities, and a living land. When we chase glittering prizes at any cost, the cost is always too high. The calm lake is a mask over deep trauma. The tragedy is not that the gold is gone, but what was lost in its pursuit. Remembering Serra Pelada is honoring the invisible victims, especially the women. Their story warns us to always consider the human price of progress. The women of Serra Pelada are the true heroines, survivors who forged strength from loss. Their stories a scar on Brazil's heart, a lesson in the hidden costs of fortune. As resource exploitation continues worldwide, their voices are more urgent than ever. We must demand justice, sustainability, and compassion, amplifying those silenced by progress. Their stories are not footnotes, but the conscience of history. Let their memory challenge us to question where our wealth comes from and who pays the price. The echoes from Serra Pelada call us to empathy and action. By listening, we honor their sacrifice and find our own humanity.